Well, Democrats like Wendy Davis running for governor here in Texas like to portray themselves as pro-choice because it sounds so nice. But are they really pro-choice about anything other than whether you choose to kill your child? Now, if you want to educate your child and make those kind of educational choices, they oppose that. They want a government monopoly on all education. They want to force everyone into that. They don't want you to make decisions about your child's health, whether you should vaccinate them, make decisions about their insurance. And of course, they don't want you to make decisions about most things individually in your life where you would have some choice. But this week, we're celebrating Educational Choice Week, and we've got an article from Ron Paul. He says every week should be School Choice Week. And he points out when the government usurps control of education from parents, education can easily become indoctrination. Well, it's not a possibility. I would go much stronger than that. I would say it's not that it can become indoctrination. It was designed to be indoctrination from the very beginning. Of course, we have the book from Charlotte Iserby that we sell, Dumbing Us Down, the deliberate dumbing down of America. And of course, this is something that's been going on since the mid-1800s. When I confronted Bill Ayers about his involvement in education, how he likes to portray himself as someone who's all about anarchy, and yet he's one of the biggest statists out there. He said, oh, there's never been any case where the government hasn't been involved in education. Well, it simply isn't true. They got involved because back in the 1840s in communist communities like the Oneida experiment, they were trying to reproduce things that Plato had suggested in his Plato's Republic. They wanted essentially to destroy the family, to cut the ties from parents to children. They wanted the community to raise the child, the village to raise the child, if you will. And so they had all kinds of sexual promiscuity and different definitions of marriage that they were doing back then. And they realized that even though it was a failure, the reason it was a failure was because they had to get the kids earlier. So that's what the educational establishment has been all about. That's the purpose of government education. It has been designed to get your kids at an early age so they can be brainwashed. Now we have an article that came out today from Kit Daniels, and they want to know if they're doing a good job of brainwashing your kids. So they are going to have in New York a data collection program that's going to track students from preschool to their career. They call it P-20. In other words, from preschool to 20 years of age. But of course, they're not going to stop at 20 years of age. Now, this is being promoted by New York State and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And they say, quote, it will allow NYSED, that's the New York State Education Department, and other agencies to link data without the need for agencies to unnecessarily add new regulations or seek legal policies to collect data out of their purview. In other words, they're just going to start pulling all this stuff together so they don't have to go to all that trouble of trying to come up with some kind of a legal justification for spying on you, for storing all of your information. Of course, every time we turn around, that is the government's main objective. They view you and your children as slaves. So one of the things you can do is get out of the system. That's the most effective thing you can do for yourself, for the future of this country, is to opt out of the system, to exit it. A good example of that is the Grammy Awards that were just last night. Now, we've got a Christian singer who went to the Grammy Awards. This is Natalie Grant, and she was very excited to go. She tweeted about how excited she was to be there, but after she started watching what she called satanic performances, and many others have called them that, she tweeted that I'm leaving early, and maybe I've seen a little bit too much. I'm glad that I'm singing for Jesus, essentially what she said. But even E! Online said, did we just witness actual witchcraft during Katy Perry's Grammy performance? Well, I think they did. Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.